could stay like this, forever following you.
Hello everyone, Abby here at Purple Cottage Crafts, and I wanted to do just a kind of small sneak peek slash tiny flip through of my passport to journal that I began creating during the 3-day Orly Albany workshop that I attended. I will have a full flip through of this once I'm done, and then at that point I will also include, photos of the 3-day workshop throughout the experience, and kind of talking about the theory behind the passport and more about the details around it. So this one will be just kind of sharing some of the different mediums that I haven't put into the passport yet, and just kind of showing you just a few of the different pages that I've completed so far, or at least not fully completed, but have added to the passport structure itself. So this is like a legitimate passport. This isn't like a size for traveler's notebooks. This is like an actual, let me find some pages I haven't done yet. Each of the pages have been, inked and whatnot, but like this is like an actual passport that you'd use to travel and whatnot. It's expired. So some of the pages I wanted to share with you. Now I'll show you the cover real quick. The cover is not done by any means. This is just kind of what I have so far. And I'll explain about the different rusty components and how those came to be in the full flip through video. So that's all kind of part of that. But so far she's getting to be chunky, and I still have a lot of things to add to it. Now, do I have to add all these components from the workshop? No. Do I want to? I want to try. Some I might want to use for other projects and stuff. So, and there's still some pages I'm working on and things, and it's going to be chunky, and it's going to be kind of peeking and poking out from the top and the side, and maybe a little bit from the bottom, because that's what I like. And this is something for me. This is not something that'll be for sale or anything like that. So this is totally for me. So when I do the full flip through, I will explain kind of some of the theming, not really theming, but some of the meaning behind some of my layouts and my spreads. I'm not going to do that today, but just to kind of show you just some of the work, the detail and the stitching and all the texture and the eco dye baths and different sprays and that kind of stuff. And here's just a tag I have so far. So this is the inside cover of the passport, and these are materials from the workshop itself, and some of the things that I brought with me and some of the things that we created based off of what we brought, and then also how we alter them up a little bit, and then also some things that Orly provided for us during the workshop. So here's another page, and I'm still working on this stack of papers here, so it's not in there all the way yet, but just again more stitching, different types of fabrics and vintage linens and different textiles, things of that nature. Let's see, I'll show you this one here. We're going to say video probably next week on how I'm using things like this, and I'll leave it at that so I can save it for that video. Let's see here. I'm trying to be a little selective on which pages I share because some aren't done yet, and again, I want to save some for the flip through. This is one that I was working on, that I worked on last night for a little bit, and this is just more of the fabrics and linens that I brought, mostly linens I should say. I didn't really bring fabric, but it was like vintage linens and lace and doilies and stuff that went through the eco bath. And so this is a page flip, and then this is just an 1800s vintage ledger pieces that I kind of just put on top of the passport page, and then I just used this down the center, some more of the same fabric, and then I just did some stitching with more of the different textures and fibers and stuff, and then just did some more stitching here, more of my beloved slow stitching. So I think that's a lot of fun. Adds a great texture and detail, and it doesn't really take that long to do. Let's see, we'll do this one. So this one isn't completed as far as like what I want to do with these pages, but just to kind of, oops, sorry, it's a little fuzzy there, just to kind of show you some of the different textures and the rust marks and just the gorgeous textures from the different materials that I used. And then this fold out on the back side. And this isn't done, this is still a work in progress as well. And then I think I'll just share one more. Which one do I want to share for the last? Well, this one I'll do because I did a quick video on my Instagram, and if you're not following me there, it's Purple Cottage Crafts. I love it if you did, because I do lots of sneak peek videos and pictures and kind of behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of posting when I'm not able or feeling up to doing videos or anything. So I do post there quite often. So if you wanted to follow me, I would love that. You can kind of see what I've been up to. All right, so that's all I'm going to share. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a little tease, but I want to, this is like a process. This is a whole experience. And I don't want it to look like, oh, I did this here, I did that there, like I do in my usual flip throughs of whether they're personal journals, commission journals, or journals for sale, or whatever it is I'm working on. This is a really super personal one for me. So when I do the official video of this, I won't go into a ton of detail in regards to what some of the symbolism is here, because it's just personal to me, but you know, you'll have an idea. But I just love the way that this looks, how it's just all tattered and vintage papers and fabrics and linens and laces and textiles and rustiness, and I just love this. And so this is definitely up my alley. So let me share with you some of the different things that I have from, oops, wrong direction, Abby, I always do that, from the workshop itself. So I'm not going to divulge in processes, because that's exclusive to those who pay for the workshop, just to be fair to the artists. But just, I can talk about different, components of it. So, this is some string from the Eco Bath die we did from bundling some things. And this is like vintage, part of a vintage glassine envelope, tag with some rusty marks on it, different mark makings, and just some different papers. Orly is, she is from Israel. And so she had some papers and different letters and things that she had given to us. And it's just really, really cool in her native language. So in Hebrew, it's just really, really cool. So I just have some different vintage papers that I brought. Some of these things are torn up envelopes and stuff, because I've been incorporating them. Look at this gorgeous texture from this rusty plate that I had used. Just yummy. And this is from one of the book plates, as you can see. It's on the cover. This is some Chinese calligraphy paper that I got from Amazon. Really fun. And, oh, I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but I do have my phone volume up because I'm waiting for a call from my doctor's office, so I apologize if it starts to ring or anything. I'll have to pause. This is some piano paper, more piano paper. This is the darker craft color. You can see some different mark makings on here from different rusty bits. Sorry, you guys, about that. I have to have it up, though, because I can't miss the call. Look at the different rust markings on there. They're just yummy. I just love it so much. So that, and then I'll go through some of the fabrics. These are some little bits here that I've been using that I've torn down to put into different components. So here's a letter that she had given us in Hebrew, and I've kind of been trying to ration it, so to speak, because I've been trying to use it all over the journal or the passport. Some of the these are different materials that I brought, different fibers and laces and stuff. So they've taken up in the dye bath, which is just lovely. This is what I used to wrap my outer bundle, and I just love it how this turned out. So I've been cutting from this and incorporating it inside the journal, of course. And then here, just lovely mark makings from rusty goodness. Different fabric napkins I tore down, vintage ones, just yummy. And then this here is this fun material. It's originally kind of like a creamy beige. I love how that looks, the texture, the visual, and then the touching of it as well. And then here's another piece that I kind of cut down. So this here is very special, and I've cut a little bit off the side, one of the ends, I don't remember where, just a little tiny bit, so I could, here it is, just so I could use a little bit inside the journal itself. I cut off a little bit, you can see it against the paper there. This to me is very precious. This, in addition to some other things that Orly had given us, which I'll share in the passport full flip through video, this is vintage Japanese kimono silk. I mean, like legit vintage. I don't know what year or whatever it's from, but she has a friend that used to collect kimonos, and she had like a full shed full, like just full. And so she decided to sell off her collection, and then some of the kimonos she would deconstruct for different art projects. So she just had piles and piles and piles of the silk left from the kimonos, the lining of the kimonos. And so she had given them to Orly, and Orly has generously been giving them out, pieces of them out to her different students that attend her workshop, which I think is just lovely. And so this was originally kind of, you can kind of see the natural color it was there. And so this is what with my passport, it's not my passport, but some of the papers in my eco dye bath. And you can just see the loveliness from the different natural elements that we use to dye, and then the rusty components, and it's just lovely. And so one of my friends that was there, she was going to, she talked about wanting to make hers. Hers was a little bit longer than my piece, but she wanted to try to incorporate into a scarf somehow. And this will be definitely something. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could get this around my hair, like because I have different fabric headbands I like to wear. That'd be kind of a really cute headband, I think, possibly, or just a kind of. I'm hesitant to cut this up because it's just such a treasure. It's, you know, because I've never owned authentic vintage Japanese kimono silk before. And it's, you know, this was a whole experience from that workshop with Orly. And so this is a very precious piece to me, and she was so sweet and kind to share. I mean, she's a very giving, caring, selfless lady, and she's just amazing. And I treasure this. So, you know, this is something that I will, you know, keep in its form as you see it here. And then, like I said, either wear it for a hairpiece possibly, or you know, use it in my room somehow as display, or I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I love this, and it just means a lot to me to have this piece, and I really do like it so much. So anyway, that's all I'm really going to share in this video. See, I'm about almost 12 minutes. I just kind of wanted to do just, you know, like I said, just kind of sharing some of the different pages. I'll show the back part too, because I got that done last night. Not done, but you know, I've got my pages covered. So I'm just kind of just doing more collaging. This is more from the dye bath papers and distant fibers, and then just made some tags from the different thicker pieces of paper that I use, and covered with more of that vintage ledger. So just kind of fun stuff like that. And when I do, like I said, the video, I'll kind of explain more on how the basic construction of some of the different layouts and stuff. But just wanted to kind of give you a fairly quick peek at my passport to journal in its progressive state so far, and kind of the different materials that I'm using, because a lot of these will be put into the passport itself. And I'm just really excited about this. Is going to be such a lovely treasure for me to have, that I can journal in and put in different quotes and some photos that I have that I haven't really known what to do with, other than just keeping them in the envelope that they were given to me. And it's just a really deep and personal project for me, and I love it so much, and I'm excited to share with all of you when it's completed. And I'm just kind of share with you that journey that I had to that 3-day workshop. So I'm gonna go and wrap this up, and hopefully you enjoyed the quick peek through. I will link Orly's social media information in the description box below. She was living in California, Southern California, for quite a while, and she recently, I think this just past year in 2018, she relocated to Salem, Oregon, which is where I live in Oregon. So she's about maybe no more than a 25-30 minute drive from me. And she puts that out there. I'm not, like, you know, disclosing personal information. I'm not going to give her address or anything, but you know, that's what she has on her website. That's where, because she does teach workshops at her home now. So but I'll put a link to all of her social media information. So it's really cool having such an amazing artist who taught with Seth Bapter for years. I mean, there's so many different, Jennifer Ross, there's so many different artists that she has collabed with and done workshops with, and she travels all over the world, and it's just really, really cool. And I think she's going to Morocco sometime this year, and she was like, hey, you want to meet me in Morocco? And I'm like, I'd love to go to Morocco. That'd be so cool. Pretty sure it was Morocco, she said. But anyway, I'll link her information below so you can kind of check her out. She does have a few videos on her YouTube channel, not a lot, but she does have some beautiful photos of her art and different workshop projects and things like that on her Instagram. So definitely go check her out if you've never heard of her. She's just amazing, super sweet lady, and she has a lovely accent. And I've just, attending that workshop to me has literally been life-changing in personally, for what this passport means to me, and what it's in a personal aspect of my childhood and growing up, and then also in the art sense of just finding different ways of expression and expressing myself throughout my art and how I create and design from that workshop I went to. And it was just, I'm so lucky that I was able to go, and I will be attending future workshops of hers, of course, especially, like I said, she's, like, half hour away from half hour drive from where I live. And it's just awesome. So anyway, I'm gonna go and wrap it up now for the second time, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So happy scrapping, happy planning, happy crafting, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Just don't get too far.